Today I'm going to be talking about separation anxiety in dogs and how to prevent it. Now, if your dog is already showing signs of separation anxiety, these steps will still help because it will not only help to prevent separation anxiety in a dog, but it can help to ease your dog away from it. In case you don't know, I'm Amanda from thecrazydogmom.com, and every Tuesday I'm sharing tips for dog moms of how to give their dogs the best life possible. Now let's start off with talking about what separation anxiety is. The most basic way to explain it is a dog who is anxious and stressed out when their owner leaves them because they're just overly attached. Now this will probably cause behaviors such as vocalizing, pooping and peeing in the house, and maybe even destruction of objects around the house or the dog itself. Now these are more extreme cases if a dog were to have all of these behaviors, but most dogs will only show like one or two of them. Now, with that being said, just because your dog might show one of these behaviors, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's because of separation anxiety. It can also just be the cause of boredom. So this time right now, I think is even more important to be talking about separation anxiety because of the Safer at Home Act. We're all home with our dogs 24/7. And now our dogs are going to be getting attached to us, and when we leave and go back to work, it's going to be a bit of a shock to them. So I want to help ease that for them. If you crate your dog normally when you go to work, you should still be crating your dog even during quarantine. Now it makes more sense for the dog if you do this at the same time that you normally would when you do go to work, because this will help to keep a routine for your dog. Now I'm not saying that you should be crating your dog the length of the time that you normally would be crating them while you're at work, but at least for an hour a day, this should help your dog. This gives them alone time and space away from you, so that way it won't be as big of a shock when you leave them for work. Now, if you don't normally crate your dog when you go to work and you just normally leave them out in the house, what you can do now instead is to just leave them in a separate room and keep them occupied. Just as long as they have some form of alone time away from you, this should help. Now, in general, something good to keep in mind is a tired dog is a good dog. So I want you to fully exercise your dog before crating them. Now, I don't mean to fully exercise by just walking around the block real quick. I want you to completely tire out your dog before you put them in the crate. This way, once they're in the crate, they can just pass out. Another tip is to have a special treat or toy that your dog only gets when they're in their crate. Now, before leaving your dog alone with this treat or toy, I want you to give it to them while you are monitoring them so that you can watch out for any dangers such as like swallowing hazards or choking, or anything like that. Now, if your dog is a tough chewer, this might be a little bit more difficult because you don't want to give your dog a toy and have them just destroy it. So that's why it's important to test some toys out with your dog before leaving them alone with them. Now, some of our personal favorites are the West Paws toys and the Kong Extreme toys. These ones are the ones that we feel comfortable leaving our dogs alone with. Other toys that I've heard of are the Best Buddy toys. Now, another thing that you can do is to feed your dog their meals in the crate. This way, your dog will be occupied while eating their food while you leave, and they probably won't even notice. At least with my dogs, they're very food motivated. So as long as they're getting all of their food, they're completely focused on that and don't even notice that we leave. And then hopefully by the time they finish eating, they can just pass out because they're tired from all of their exercise. A really cool way to do that is to use one of these tough toys and stuff the food inside there, and then you give that to them in their crate right before you leave. Now, a lot of vets will prescribe medication to dogs who show signs of separation anxiety, And I don't necessarily believe in this, at least not all the time. Now, I'm definitely not an expert, but I just feel like there are more natural ways to go about this before taking the extreme steps of medicating a dog. Now, if you want to try these steps first and then they still aren't working, then medication might be necessary, because in extreme cases, medication might be the best answer, might be the only answer, or at least for the start. Now, if you do medicate your dog, you can maybe slowly ease off of them while taking these steps, and hopefully you can eventually just completely get rid of the medication. If you found this video helpful, please like it and share it with your friends, so that way we can help as many dog moms as possible who might be struggling with dogs who have separation anxiety, especially during this crazy time of quarantine. Thank you.